Are you ready for live crowds again? AEW, Ring of Honor, MLW, and now WWE have all announced that fans are coming back. The pandemic era of wrestling appears to be almost over, so finally, after 16 months of empty arenas and Performance Center and Thunderdome shows, WWE announced that they're going back on the road. Do you think fans are going to rush back? Will you yourself rush back? I'm Ryan Joy and I run MinceTheBellTime.com, a website and database tracking pro wrestling from around the world. On today's show, we're talking about the excitement of live wrestling returning, plus our expectations given local government rules and regulations. Karl is in the house, and this is the Daily Wrestling News Show for May 24, 2021, where we work together to understand all that's happening in wrestling. Here we are. Welcome to the show, Al.
Yeah, today's show, there's no more headlines. Ryan, I'm a little upset here. I had so many more jokes for these headlines. There was one episode I was going to sing Britney Spears' Circus. All eyes on me in the center. And you took it away from me. So I guess maybe all these little impromptu headlines weren't doing it for you, huh? Jeez.
Well, got to set up the show proper and get people excited and get them to stay through the entire thing. So that's the plan. That's what we're doing.
Exactly. But it is great morning music right there. If you saw me jam, I'm in the background. It's a little fist bumping jam. Great music. We're ready to talk some wrestling. And like you said, we got the crowd back, so I'm ready to roll here.
Yeah, so here's the news. WWE announced Friday that they'll return to live event touring with a 25-city schedule that takes them through Labor Day. The tour begins with a 3-event weekend in Texas. They got SmackDown, Money in the Bank, and Monday Night Raw. Those events are July 16, 18, and 19. Tickets go on sale Wednesday. Additional cities to be announced soon. This is huge, right?
This is very big. I think this is what everyone's been clamoring for. And to answer the question that you had in your opening video, I think yes. I think fans, it's especially Texas, all the states that are open full capacity now. I know you sent me the list. Don't know if you have the graphic. I'm sure you'll go state by state and what's going. But I think Texas, yes. Florida, yes. I think all these places. This is just 100% beneficial to the entire world.
Absolutely. And so WWE is joining MLW, who announced that they're bringing back fans on July 10th in Philadelphia. Ring of Honor is bringing fans back to Baltimore on July 11th. AEW has July 7th in Miami and then 14 and 21 in Texas. If you are a big wrestling fan in the state of Texas, this is your time. You can go see your Dynamites, you can go see WWE, everything. So I'll be really interested to see where WWE and AEW, for that matter, go after their little Texas loop, because there's a bunch of other states that are open, and I will mention them in a second. But
yeah, it's a lot of Midwest states. Other than, and I know Florida's not Midwest, but the funny thing was the arena life that I had, that I live. You check. One of the events that I have to work due to my job is Disney on Ice, and it's questionable if they're coming to the tri-state area right now. But they are touring in the Midwest states, and in a lot of the states that you're going to mention in a little bit. But yeah, everything's bigger in Texas. WrestleMania is in Texas, so this is a nice little thing, nice little hors d'oeuvre for everybody in the Lone Star State to get ready for it.
Yeah, so here's the states that are 100% open, full capacity: Mississippi, Florida, Georgia, Montana, Nebraska 75% for indoors, 100 for out. New Hampshire, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Texas, Utah, and in Washington State, we expect that to be lifted on June 30th. There are other states that are open with physical distancing, so they can't be 100% capacity, but they can put as many people as they want in there as long as they're physically distanced. That's Alabama, Alaska, Iowa, Missouri, and South Dakota. And then we talked about Pennsylvania. They have kind of a weird situation because they're doing MLW is going there, Philadelphia, 2,300 arena. It's weird all over the state. That's generally speaking, that's Philadelphia, but the rule seems to be 75%. Maryland is 50, Las Vegas, Nevada is 80, New York is 30%, New Jersey is 30%, and Arkansas is 66%. So that's kind of where we stand. So you can tell that this tour that WWE is talking about is probably going to be in that first batch of the 100% club, I think.
Yeah, and that makes complete sense. And just knowing, working in the arena life I do in New York, I think as of today, they're up to 50 because they're planning for a bigger attendance on Wednesday night at the beautiful, I can't even say it with a straight face, luxurious Nassau Coliseum for the Islanders playoff game. So, that place is rocking this past weekend, and it's only going to get louder.
Absolutely.
So, and actually, fun story. Producer Joe McMahon was in attendance on Thursday night for Game 3. So I got to wave to Joe. I got to see him in attendance. First time I saw him in person. So that was good.
Oh, good. Edward is chiming in asking, why is Impact Wrestling not allowing fans to enter their arena? And I think, Edward, it's just a matter of time. I suspect that maybe Slammiversary will be that event. There's been no announcements about tickets yet. They haven't released. They were even slow to release the date. I don't have the Tennessee numbers because that's where the Impact Zone has been this whole time, but I would expect it's going to be around that time that the Impact comes back as well. So just stand by. I bet you we'll get an announcement soon from them.
Yeah, two things with that. Yes, Slammiversary would be a huge start because last year with the Future Endeavors was a show that everybody tuned in for. That was probably their highest rated pay-per-view in God knows how long. And it's going to happen again. I believe they're scheduling it right after the 90-day no compete clauses for the WWE guys. So you couple that with the fact that they tape about 7 months in advance. So, they're already probably taped through probably mid to the end of July. So that's probably why there's no announcements there. They do everything so far ahead of schedule that, if they were to, say that, we're returning live on August 1st, you're like, oh my God, they're taped all the way through August already. Like, it kind of lets the cat out of the bag on that one,
Sure. So it's interesting. There's, when we break this down, and we've already talked about the states that are open and whatnot, but it's 11 states right now that I have at 100% open and ready to bring crowds in without social distancing. So it's interesting that they waited this long, right? Because they could have done this in Florida not years ago, probably 2 months ago. But they're considering a lot of things, right? Like they can't go into just Florida and then burn that entire market out.
Yeah.
And have nobody come to these shows. So they had to wait. All of them had to wait until there was enough states open that were going to allow them to go in and actually do a tour. And I think that's why we're seeing it happen now. Al, the other thing that I want to ask about, and this is just speculation on your part and my part, before we went into the pandemic, WWE, not alone in this matter, but WWE was having a really hard time filling the 300 level seating and even the hard cam side. And I'm wondering, when the pandemic struck, people said, I won't watch, empty arena shows. I'm wondering how quickly they're going to come back and what that attendance is going to look like. And I don't think we have any way of knowing. We don't have early numbers. Tickets haven't gone on sale or anything yet.
Yeah.
But you have any kind of feeling on what you think that's going to be like?
No, I think it'll be sold out the first couple.
Yeah.
Just everyone's clamoring to get it back. The guys, the people that haven't watched, boo-hoo, it was not the same. Watch my WrestleMania 36 special. I know how I feel about that. But I would think that's, I think the first month of shows, the first time they hit a city, and maybe even if they do, I guess they could always repeat the loop if things don't progress otherwise. I mean, I know they do have to plan ahead. I know arenas have schedules. I know that life. So you can't just be like, can we come on Tuesday? You guys do anything Thursday? Can we come Thursday? It's not. They don't work like that. So I think maybe just do the loop twice, space it out maybe like 3 months, and see what I think. No, I think there's going to be full crowds everywhere. I know AEW is going to be rocking. Everyone's got to. Everyone's going to go see that. That's a given. Yeah, but Raw is the question. I think SmackDown's really, really good. I think starting that weekend and starting the first live show on SmackDown with Roman Reigns, everyone's going to be wanting to see Roman Reigns. I was actually shocked watching WrestleMania that Roman Reigns wasn't actually cheered for the first time or for the second time. Obviously, his comeback a couple years ago, he was cheered because he beat cancer and everyone wanted to applaud that, and good for him. But I think everyone loves this Roman Reigns, and everyone wants to see this Roman Reigns. So I think starting it out on SmackDown is actually that's smart. And see, somebody was using their head on that one.
Yeah, and it's starting out on SmackDown, and the SmackDown Go Home show for Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And then Money in the Bank is down the street, right? These are all three of those events are in Texas. So
yeah,
if an energized fan could go to all three of those places. Now, 25 cities is what they've announced through Labor Day. They have a whole lot more than 25 events between that July date and Labor Day, because you figure they're 3 shows a week. So they're going to be hitting some of these markets twice and 3 times before they get all the way to Labor Day. And then who knows what we'll have for capacity on these other states once we get there. But I'm wondering if they're going to hit some of these markets that have traditionally been maybe underserved a little bit. Like when you look at this list, yes, WWE goes through Mississippi and Utah and these states, but you don't hear as much. So maybe they're going to get more live programming here during this particular window.
Yeah, but does this include house shows too?
Well,
live logo. I know you said 3 times a week, and that's not including NXT. I think NXT is staying put. Is that right?
No announcements on NXT, and if they do, they'll probably go to Full Sail first.
Yeah, so they're maybe gonna have the 2 televised, and maybe a show in between. One for each brand. Now you have 2 brands flying everywhere. It's not like it's just like.
Yep.
Everything goes. So 25 cities. You have the potential between 4 and 6. I mean, even though Raw is on Monday night in Mississippi, there's no reason why there can't be a SmackDown house show in Utah.
Exactly. Exactly. So I hope this goes well, and I think you're right. The energy is going to be there for the first few shows back, and we'll see how it sustains and how it builds, and hopefully we enter the boom. Right? We've all kind of felt this pandemic era. There's been good things, there's been bad things, but we know a lot of people tuned out, and hopefully they come back and grow in crowds, and it becomes better than it ever was.
And this is where Vince has to step up.
Yes.
This is where the show, the booking, the storyline, all the things everyone craps on. It's more Raw than SmackDown. Everyone hates Raw, and to be fair, Raw's got to step it up. They got to step up the show. Yes. If they're going to have all these people, they got to bring their A game like they're going into WrestleMania. Like every show needs to be a WrestleMania go-home show. Right. They really have to step up their game. Then that'll bring the viewers back. And then it's just, it's a big time for them. They got to sit down and really game plan for this in order to, get back to where the level that they want to be at.
Right. Where we want them to be at, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm an easy. I'm fine where they are. I'm an easy.
So it's interesting. Like you brought that up, and it's a headline for later in the show that I wasn't going to bring up during this portion, but they got to bring their A game. There are rumors going everywhere about John Cena returning. Now, that's not something. That's not news. That's just rumors at this point. But here is a piece of news. PW Insider confirmed that his last day of filming on his HBO series is July 10th or something like that. Let's see.
Okay.
So it's July. So, maybe that's part of the A game that you're talking about. Are they going to bring back faces we haven't seen in a while, whether that's John Cena or it's Keith Lee,
Yeah, I think Keith Lee would be a better possibility than John Cena. I can't see John Cena coming back for this. I don't. He's gonna have something else to do. He's in every single commercial. He's probably gonna have so many commercials lined up. Whether it's a voiceover for Honda, or if he's riding a cow, or he's voicing an elephant for pistachios. He's got a full plate. So yeah. I don't know if touring is going to be something. I'm sure he'll want to do it. I'm sure if you ask him and if he had the time, because, give Cena the credit. He loves this. This isn't something that Cena. I know I saw an article. Cena only did this to become a movie star. No, he didn't. Stop. So, it's, the same with Rocky. Rocky has a love for this. And so,
I don't they're going to tour. They won't, a Cena's not going to come back and he's not going to tour and hit every Raw and every SmackDown and stuff.
No.
But you might get him for one show. And same thing, maybe Edge will finally, come back. We haven't seen him since Mania. Things like that, they're going to be promoting, I think.
If Cena, if the rumors are right, if you're correct, and Cena's done in July, okay, that's a month before SummerSlam. I could see that.
Right. And then John DeConnie chiming in. Vince answers to butts and seats is Brock Lesnar. That's another name we haven't seen in a long time. That didn't make sense with empty crowds. So, so those are the things that I think we're thinking about as wrestling fans and people who are watching this closely. Of are we going to see new names? What markets are they going to hit? Is the crowd going to be like energy? They have a lot of energy and be filling up the arenas. Those are the questions, and I can't wait to start getting some answers on those.
Yeah, I know. We're going to get the answer. This is where, we're excited. We're coming up. We have Brock Lesnar, John Cena. We really just need to manage our expectations here, because if they don't show, then we're going to get let down, and now we're back to where we started. So let's just everyone just ease off on what they're going to do and just let it happen, and hopefully that Vince gets his head out of his ass and puts on a good show for us. So,
yeah, they have plenty of talent. We don't actually need any returns to have great programming. So
you just need to put Ricochet on the show. There's butts and seats. Everyone just put Ricochet on. Done and done.
Well, that is perfect. So that's kind of the opening news. That's the big story of the day. That's the wrestling is back. July is going to be a killer month for wrestling fans. So hold on tight.
I'm excited, and like I said, I don't mean that jump segment, the translation, but the biggest news. Just I know we didn't discuss this in pre-production. The biggest news of the week for me, Rye. If you watched Impact on Thursday, Caleb, a miraculous, inspiring story. Caleb with a K. He doesn't need the neck brace anymore, so he's fully recovered from his injury. So Caleb, he's back. Congratulations. He's just an inspiration. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Caleb. That's probably the biggest news story of the week, other than the fans coming back.
There you go. Well, we have more news coming up, and we're going to get to that. But first, let me tell you how you can support the Daily Wrestling News Show. If you love the Daily Wrestling News Show, then I want to tell you how you can support us. First, check out bodyslamclothes.com. You can get a variety of shirts for just $20, and all of them come in the super soft style, and the price you see includes all sizes and shipping. Get 10% off 2 or more shirts with the promo code SHIRTS10. Go to bodyslamclothes.com right now to check it out. And join Joey Jarzanka, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca on Friday nights for the Primetime Rundown. They take you through the world of sports. The show kicks off at 6 p.m. on the Eastern Observer. And each Tuesday, Karl hosts the Essential Wrestling Podcast alongside John Smith, myself, John DeConnie, and Gary Mahaffey. It's another week of updates and highlights in the world of wrestling. Hear our analysis on who we think is going to win the week's matches. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. on the Eastern Observer. And Pro Wrestling Pick'em. It's a place where you can join or host a Pick'em League to test your predictive skills in the world of pro wrestling. Create an account and join a league now at ProWrestlingPick'em.com so you can play against your friends or play against the universe. And the Body Slam Brigade newsletter, currently going out to over 4,200 people each Friday. It consolidates all the top stories in professional wrestling into a quick-to-read email written by me, for you, for free. Sign up now at bodyslambrigade.com. And of course, this show, the Daily Wrestling News Show. We're here every day, Monday through Thursday, occasionally on Friday. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, or watch us live on Facebook and YouTube at 10 a.m. This is the Daily Wrestling News Show, and we thank you for your support. Okay, we're back.
Yeah, I got a fresh cup of coffee. I'm excited. Let's keep rolling here.
Yeah,
actually, Ryan, real quick before we go, you mentioned the Essential Wrestling Podcast tomorrow night. Here we go. The Essential Wrestling Podcast ripping off the Daily Wrestling News Show. You know this. I stole the Sean Whipple from you. So if we go back a couple of weeks to Sean Whipple from the Whip Show that you interviewed, it was a Friday episode. I can't remember what number, maybe about 2-3 weeks ago. Really great guy, really exciting, really positive. I wanted him on the show. So he is going to be on tomorrow night, and he's going to be making his picks for Double or Nothing with us. So make sure you tune in, all you Whip Show fans and all you Deshaun Whipple fans from the mean streets of Detroit, Michigan.
Absolutely. I'm trying to think if there's any Detroit guys on the card for Double or Nothing.
Rhino just won the tag title. He's probably jumping up and down. That's all he needs right now is the man beast. Got some gold back.
There you go. Well, let's get into the headlines for the kind of the rest. We talked about the big headline and
Caleb.
Caleb, exactly.
Yeah.
Now our more minor headlines. We have Raw coming up tonight. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, they're going to challenge Natalya and Tamina for the tag titles. We also have Woods facing Matt Riddle tonight. Or I guess in WWE lore, it's just Riddle. But
yeah, it's just lore.
Yeah. So that's your Raw preview. I think that's all we've got so far for Raw.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. They set it up a couple of weeks ago, and they haven't done anything with it. This Alexa Bliss and Shayna Baszler thing. I want to see Lexi start screwing with her again. She made Shayna. It was either her or Lily. We still don't know. Lily probably made her do it.
Yeah.
She kind of crippled Shayna Baszler. She took her leg out and cost her a match, and we haven't seen anything from it since. So I'm kind of hoping Lexi steps up her game here.
Yeah, you're right. The match was announced. That's the angle, right? The match, Nia and Shayna versus Natty and Tamina. That's the match. The angle is Alexa Bliss. So we'll see where it goes.
I hope, but we've been saying it for 2 weeks now. We thought that's how they were going to lose the belts. Yeah, and they didn't. It's thing.
Well, Lily didn't get her brand-to-brand invitation. So
no, the quarterly brand switch was used by Nia and Shayna to go on SmackDown. So I'm glad they brought that up.
Well, so Monday Night Raw, that'll be on USA Network on YouTube. AEW's got their Dark Elevation show, and the interesting thing about Dark Elevation tonight is that New Japan has sent some athletes to AEW. Rocky Romero and Ren Narita will be on the show. Ren Narita is, I guess, what they call a young lion, which is, he's got the black trunks and the short hair and stuff. He's been for a few years, and I think now he's kind of branching out and starting to do sort of his excursion work. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do. He's going to be very technically sound. And then Rocky Romero,
Now, is he Yuji Nagata's young boy? Because I saw there was somebody backstage with Yuji Nagata after his match, when he carried his bag. I can't remember if it was before or after the match.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was. I can't remember if it was Ren Narita. Yeah. I think it probably was.
Okay.
So. Then a quick programming note. Your Wednesday is free this week. Dynamite's going to be on Friday. So the go-home show for Double or Nothing is this Friday. So it'll be up against SmackDown. So probably everybody's ratings will suffer because of that.
Yeah, but my ratings are going to go up because I'm probably going to be on TV Wednesday night. So everyone just tune in to the NBC Sports Network. See some good ice on that show.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. AEW filed for the trademark for the name Rampage. No real surprise there, but there's your news.
See, how is that possible with the video game?
They don't have the trademark for it, must be. Kazuchika Okada confirmed positive COVID-19 test. So we are hearing some of the names come out from that big situation that New Japan had last month, I guess, or earlier this month, where they had to cancel a bunch of events and stuff. So Okada, big name, supposed to get a title shot, and he had a positive COVID test. So best wishes to him to recover for that.
Yeah, he'll get well soon. He'll be back. They're always back. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. I know Japan just can't get out from under this.
Well, it's interesting. Japan was like the first back, right? They had, they came back with like 25% capacity and then 30 and then 40, and they were pretty much at 100% capacity, and they had people not cheering or anything like that. They were using apps and clapping and stuff like that. So Japan was kind of forward, and they had a little bit of a lapse, so they had to tighten things back down. So hopefully they, get things going.
You're noticing a trend here, and not to go off topic of wrestling, but Japan and India's having problems from what I'm hearing too. So it's just like us here in the United States, and we're killing our governors and our president, our former president, and whoever. We're killing them. We just want to get back. We don't want to wear the mask anymore. This, that, and the other. But you know what? We're the ones that are taking our time, and now everything's supposedly okay. So, did we do it right? Did we do it wrong here? It's funny how it's working out that way.
Yeah. Or are we going to see a second wave as well?
Or are we still going too fast? Yeah, that's where I guess to be continued with that.
So there was rumors going around about Keith Lee, and I think it's just what I want to do is squash them. So Keith, there was rumors going around over the weekend that Keith Lee was released from WWE. Multiple sources have confirmed that that's not true. So
and Brian, that's how rumors get started.
And this is how they end.
Yeah, and that's our job to squash rumors. That's it. We don't have SpongeBob on this studio, right?
No. But then the other rumor we talked about earlier was the return of John Cena now. again, that's also just rumor. There's nothing there at the moment. No announcements, no news, no nothing. But all we know is his filming schedule. So you could
Yeah, I guess with that, I'd like to actually officially start a rumor as well. I believe Triple H is going to win Money in the Bank. So let's just start that rumor now. While they're flying everywhere, so I might as well start my own.
There you go.
Triple H, actually, I heard Triple H is going to win Money in the Bank this year.
Now, is he planning to cash that in on Bobby Lashley, or is it Roman Reigns?
No, we owe Roman Reigns still. No, it's Hunter's table, but it's Roman's table, but it's in Hunter's world, and we still owe him from WrestleMania 32. So
okay,
it's on Roman.
I know that's in the news section, folks, but Al has no sources on that.
Meltzer.
Okay.
Dave Meltzer told me.
Well, speaking of Uncle Dave, he and the F4W Online did confirm that Moose signed a new contract with Impact Wrestling. So Moose was very vocal about the fact that his contract was ending in June. Mm-hmm. So that kind of made things a little weird with the big title shot that he just got and everything. But in the end, he has re-signed with Impact. So everything's still on the table. Moose could win the World Championship from Kenny by God Omega.
He could, yeah, could. He's in the match, so he has a chance, right? If he's in the fight, he has a chance.
That's right.
Here's my question for you, Rye. So they had the argument on Thursday. Kenny said he's going to take one winged angel to put Moose down. So there's two questions. Can Kenny even get it on Moose? And can Moose kick out of it? So these, two questions, I guess, that are going to be answered against all odds. But what are you thinking here?
Gravity works. So I think, if Moose goes up on the second rope or something, I think that's how Kenny gets him into the one-winged angel position. And if he takes the one-winged angel, I don't think he kicks out. Sami Callihan's the wild card, though, right?
He is. What you say, gravity, or so is it mass times velocity equals acceleration or something? One of that equation. I mean, he's going to be coming down hard because Moose is a big dude, so he's going to be coming down harder than most people.
And science
because of his size. So yeah.
Science and math, I think, is in Kenny Omega's favor in that bet. So it's just a matter of if Kenny can get him up, like you said. Mm-hmm. So Moose, stay off the top rope.
Yeah, stay off those ropes, Moose.
So Noam Dar main evented the NXT UK with the Supernova sessions. That was pretty fun.
It wasn't the main event, but yes, he was. The main event was the Heritage Cup, but yeah, Noam Dar.
I know you ruined my joke. I was going to say on the undercard, Tyler Bate won the NXT.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but Noam Dar had a nice gift for Ilya Dragunov. His name is Lenny. He is a therapy dog, and Ilya, despite being mocked and calling he took the dog at the end. So let's see if Lenny makes more appearances on NXT UK. Thanks to Noam Dar. Yeah. Great guy, Noam. He just looks out for the best interest for everybody. Now.
Well, we were talking about it, Al. Last week there was a whole bunch of title changes, and obviously Tyler Bates' win, I think, was the last one of the week. But we had that. Well, no, I mean, Violence by Design won later that night, I guess. So
yeah.
Violence by Design won the tag titles, brought the tag titles back from New Japan. Tyler Bate won the NXT UK Heritage Cup. Dom and Ray won the tag titles early in the week. What else? Anything else?
Yeah, Nia and Shayna, they lost. Natty and Tamina, they won the Friday before. They got the Intercontinental title treatment. It wasn't on the pay-per-view. It was on the SmackDown before. They got it done. Yeah.
And then 2 days before that, Miro won, and Bronson Reed was last week as well. Bronson Reed was the other big one. So lots of title changes moving and stuff. So stay tuned, and we'll see as we get towards NXT later this week about maybe some matches for In Your House. So.
Yeah, that's coming up, and that's what we got a huge title match tomorrow night. You got Karrion Kross and Finn Balor. So before we get to In Your House, we got a huge NXT Championship match, a rematch from the last takeover from Stand and Deliver.
Now, Al, I missed, obviously, in my notes, the whole Caleb news. I didn't have that in my headlines. Is there anything else I missed here that we need to chat about before we send the good people on their way?
No, just Caleb's healthy. He's okay. And it was good. It was a big announcement. Tennille happened. I guess she wasn't eavesdropping on Taylor. She just happened to be in the area and overheard exactly what she said. But yeah, it was. She came in, during Taylor because they're best friends now and tag team partners. That's what they do. They help each other. And that was a big announcement that Caleb didn't need a neck brace anymore. It truly is an inspiring story. You have your Edges and you have your Daniel Bryans and you have your Caleb with the K's. I mean, they're just truly. I believe MJF was in there too. He was in a neck brace for a while, a couple of years ago, and he miraculously recovered. So,
Yeah.
Good for those guys. You just keep on fighting everybody. Their dreams aren't crushed. You got to pick yourselves up when you're down.
As Christian Cage, another recent return from many years, just
yes, future AEW World Champion Christian Cage.
Outwork everyone, right?
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you, Al. I think it's been a great show this morning, and I hope people are energized and looking forward to fans returning to the crowds.
I am, yeah.
This is the Daily Wrestling News Show. And for Al, I'm Ryan, and we'll see you tomorrow.